Yo, 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 everybody, what is up? What is up? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. It is time to talk horror, whether that's about Terrifier 4, The Black Phone 2, Scream 7, Halloween 17. I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know when that one's happening, but lots to talk about in the field. Oh my God, it's an exciting Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. We got some really fun trailers today. If it's Justin Long and his wife's new fucking horror movie, I'm already swearing because I'm so excited. That one looks crazy. That one looks pretty nuts, like a very fun time. If you haven't seen that, Coyotes attacking Justin Long. Always vibing with that. And also just some really fun Terrifier 4 updates I was able to talk about in a brand new video today. So if you saw that, let me know your thoughts. We'll get into all of it. It's a general horror kind of stream today. Now, I know on the last stream I said, hey, we're going to be doing a watch party today, but I figured it makes a little more sense to do a watch party when everyone's home, coming home from work, right? I had a few people on the stream yesterday say, like, 3 o'clock, Jake, I'm still at work then. So I'm like, let's do a watch party when everyone's able to be home. So 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, we will be watching VHS 94. We're going to be going through all of the Shudder VHS flicks for the next couple of Wednesdays. Watch Party Wednesdays back, baby. And we're going to be counting down to VHS Halloween that drops in 4 weeks, which is really exciting. So stop on by tomorrow because it's going to be fun. And I'm excited for that. I don't know. I'm excited to do the watch parties again. It's going to be a good time. But what are we getting into, ladies and gentlemen? What are we excited about in terms of horror? Let me know in the chat. God, we got a lot of people hanging out with us. What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? Welcome in. Welcome in. It's like the most people we've ever had to start a stream before. It's kind of nuts. Welcome in, fellas. Let's start saying hi to people. Reaper Kid is saying, yo, Jake, do you think we'll hear hello, Sydney in the teaser? I feel like we kind of have to. I feel like that's kind of, that's almost a must. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of this is going to be Ghostface versus Sydney again. So I kind of want to see that in the Scream 7 trailer, or I guess hear that. Raptor Crashers is also hanging out with us. Terrifier 4 better be good. You're also excited for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and Predator Badlands. Man, those are 3 of the movies I'm top of my list right there. Couldn't agree more. 28 Years Later, I'm just so happy to be starting the new year with that one. I really excited for that flick. Trailer looks awesome. And I don't know, just nothing but excitement for 28 Years Later stuff, man. I really was worried that I wasn't gonna like 28 Years Later because I think there was a part of me watching that trailer where I'm like, that trailer looked awesome, but this could just be like Walking Dead the movie, and I really don't know if I want that from 28 Days Later continuations. I think some people did, and that's why they didn't like the movie, but I'm so glad it was this really weird and unexpected like coming of age tale. That to me just felt like, again, after years and years and years of having The Walking Dead shoved down our throats, I did not want more of that. And I was really worried that's what this franchise was going to do. I'm so glad it didn't. It feels like a movie that is less like 28 Days Later and more like Fellowship of the Ring, oddly enough. It's got like this like start of an adventure kind of feel to it that I just loved. It's still fucking terrifying and great. I know some people really strongly did not like it. My friend Davey Deathray was not a fan. But I don't know. Personally, it's one of my favorite movies of the year, without a doubt. It might even be one of my favorite horror films of the decade. 28 Years Later, the first time I saw it, I wasn't crazy about it either, but I had to see it again, really digest, just like know what I was getting myself in for that one. And I was like, okay, I get it now. I understand this movie. I'm so excited for it to be streaming soon here too. I believe it's September 20th. It'll be on streaming. 100% seeing that as soon as humanly possible again. Dying to get a third watch in. Gory Tiger is with us. What's up? What's up? Paula Fitzhenry, thank you for being a channel member. Greatly appreciate that. What's up? What's up? Dave Sim is with us. What's up, Dave? Bobby, Terrifier 4 will either be next level crazy or a back to basics. I think it's going to be next level crazy. I was talking a little bit in my brand new video today about wanting a back to basics Terrifier, but I don't think that's going to be this one. I really don't. I feel like we're constantly elevating the concept with each movie, going from like the simple slasher origins now to this like epic battle of good versus evil, angels and demons fighting for heaven and shit. It's like, what the fuck? What is happening here? So I feel like we're getting into some Constantine and I don't know why Constantine was the one. Dante's Inferno is probably the better example, but yeah, just some insane angels versus demons kind of shit happening in this one, which is such a wild place to take a clown slasher franchise. But hey, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for that weird shit. Thoughts on the Bye Bye Man Part 1000? I think 999 was a little better, personally. You know, there's going to be like a guy 1,000 years from now doing exactly what I do, KillJoy Jonathan, and he's going to be talking about like Scream 100. Like, you guys ever think about that? If the human race makes it that far, there's probably going to be a Scream 100 at some point. You know, like, I think that's just so cool. Like, I think that's awesome. One day, someone's going to be analyzing this live stream years and years into the future, being like, yeah, remember that fucking idiot? Didn't know what he was talking about. I'm KillJoy Jonathan. I'm the I'm the better version of, I don't know what I'm going on about, but I do think it's funny that eventually we will get to that point with some franchises, though. Like, there could be a Scream 100 one day. I just think that's funny. I think that always fascinates me. Who else do we got with us? My Chunky Jordy, Gina saying, hi, everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in. Fort Misery Gaming saying, I'm excited for HHN this week, Jake. Did you catch the part of my Terrifier video where I was giving you a backhanded comment? Maybe, potentially. I was like, I love all the people who come into my live streams and say they're so excited for HHN. That makes me so happy, and it doesn't give me major FOMO. Don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm just kidding, my friend. I hope you have so much fun, and you have so much fun with Terrifier, the Terrifier house. I'm jealous. I want to go so bad. But I am very thankful. The community is the reason I'm able to go to Horror Hound this weekend in Cincinnati. So if you guys are in the area, if you're going to Horror Hound this weekend, I will be there, believe it or not. I didn't think I was going to make it, but thanks to Paul, Mastermind Killer here, I will be able to do that now, which is pretty damn cool. So stop on by. I will 100% be there Saturday. So hopefully you're there on Saturday as well, and we can meet up. We can talk. We can chat a little horror IRL. Love that. Jace Crawford is saying, you checking out The Long Walk this weekend? Yes. I'm interested in it for sure. Written by J.T. Molnar, and Strange Darling is unbelievably written. Yes, I'm really excited to see what he does here, because Strange Darling, I just think from a concept and execution alone, that just puts it all the way up there. All the way up there from last year. It was a major standout. I don't talk about it a lot, but I've really only seen it once. I bought a DVD copy of it, and it looks like poop. I don't know why it looks so bad. I got to get a nicer copy of it, so I have not rewatched it. I tried rewatching it, and I'm like, I don't know, it's in 480p or something. I'm like, dog, this is crazy. It's like I'm looking at pixels right now. What's happening? But at some point, I really want to rewatch that movie. Definitely one. It was an easy top 10 from last year. Horror, man. I mean, if you need a reason to go see The Long Walk, you're like, I don't know. I'm not a big Stephen King fan or whatever. Maybe that's your case. Go see it because the writer is someone phenomenal, up and coming. So I cannot wait to see The Long Walk. I will be doing a review on it sometime this weekend. I don't know when. I have a much more packed weekend than I thought I was going to. But at some point, I'll have a video up, hopefully. I think I'm going to see it late Thursday night. Hopefully I'll have a video out Friday about it. No promises on that, though. Samantha Robinson, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being a channel member as well. You're saying you're excited for the Black Phone 2. I am as well. Very excited for the Black Phone 2. Cannot wait to see that one. I think it's going to turn the Grabber into a little more of an iconic villain, which I think is cool. I feel I don't really feel like he's a big icon right now, if I'm being honest. I don't know if after that first Black Phone I was like, oh man, this guy's a new something. No, I don't know. He's cool. Ethan Hawke's great. I mean, phenomenal performance, but I feel like after this movie we're gonna start looking at that character differently. I could see people buying masks of his and putting the Frozen shit on it or whatever to kind of I could totally see variations of the mask across maybe all the different movies that they do with this. I could see them making him into an icon with this flick. I really do. I have a lot of faith. I'm really excited for this flick, though. Black Phone was a movie that I didn't love the first time I saw it. I saw it again, and I liked it way more. And I feel like this movie, it's going to be even better. So to me, Scott Derrickson, he rarely misses. He really, most of the stuff he's been attached to, I've loved. So I really think this is going to be something special. Cannot wait to see them. Basically, Blumhouse doing their own Nightmare on Elm Street series. Can't wait to see what this is all about. I think it's going to be brutal. Chains is saying, just rewatched all the Evil Dead films. Can't wait for Evil Dead Burn. I want to own a replica of the Necronomicon. Which one's your favorite, my friend? I'm curious. I think everyone's got a different favorite Evil Dead film. When you have 5 movies that are just pure perfection, that tends to happen. I love every Evil Dead film is a masterpiece. I love every single one. So I'm curious which one's your favorite. I think Evil Dead 2013 is probably my favorite, but you gotta love the classics too, man, because there's some good ones in there for sure. Long Walk looks great. Yes, it does, Dave. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Jay Tinsel is saying the last DVD copy you've received was 11/14 by yours truly. Yes, I did. And that one looked good. That one looked really good. For some reason, Strange Darling does not. Like, it's kind of bizarre. I don't think DVDs really look that bad. Like, I feel like it's a little like, okay, chill out, dude. Most DVDs look fine. But there was something specifically about this Strange Darling Walmart DVD that I picked up that just did not look so great. So I'm hoping to get like a Blu-ray, or hopefully there's a 4K release of that. That would be kind of cool. Would love to watch that movie again. It's been a minute. It's got to be on streaming by now. Strange Darling. That's a really good movie. Black Phone 2 is looking like Nightmare remake we deserve. Yeah, not the 2010 night. It's looking a little better than the 2010 Nightmare remake. Right? Yes. The Nightmare remake we deserve. I agree. That one, unfortunately, is also in rights hell right now. If you're like, why the hell are we not getting a new Nightmare on Elm Street franchise? Or franchise continuation. That's why. Yeah, it's just same situation as Friday the 13th, unfortunately. Just they cannot get a new one made. They cannot get people to agree on the rights, get them all in a room together and just be like, hey, we're making another one. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Can't get everybody on board. Everybody wants a bigger slice of the pie, probably. That's my guess. Now that we're kind of getting things figured out with Jason, which is nice, it would be nice to have that franchise all wiggled out and figured out. Erica's throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much for the support. Kicking off our super chat goal. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, if we get 10 of those bad boys, we'll talk horror for a whole nother hour. Erica, thank you for the 2. I greatly appreciate that. Hit that like button right meow. Do it, or Erica will bite off your fingers. Just like a vicious rabid cat. It's horrifying. I've seen her do it before. I appreciate the $2, Erica. Thank you. I'm glad I still have all 10 of my fingers. I've hit the like button. Have you? Are your kids home? Well, you know that old ad. I'm totally paraphrasing it. It's fine though. It's fine. I'm gonna keep my fingies warm with this delicious cup of coffee. Richard J. Skorenki is saying Strange Darling is on Paramount Plus and Showtime on demand. Paramount Plus does that thing where they give you ads like every 5 fucking seconds though. You know what? I'm going to stop complaining. I'm going to find a way to watch it again because it's a good one. Jace rewatched Evil Dead 2013 the other night. I think that one is my favorite. I forgot how great the opening of that film is. Oh, so good. I've said this before and I will say it again. Evil Dead 2013 is like the blueprint to making a perfect horror film. I love everything about that flick. It's a masterpiece for what it is. It is like, it really only has like 5 characters. And it's just an onslaught of brutality and fun and some pretty good character development too. Like, I care about these people by the time the shit hits the fan, dude. And it's really well done. It's a very unique movie. I fucking love Evil Dead 2013. I feel like it's a top 10 horror movie of all time for me. I've seen it a million times. I'll watch it another million if I can make that happen. If that's physically, humanly possible. God, I love that film. Thoughts on Him, Keeper, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Him, I feel like it could be like a weird little surprise this year from Monkey Paw. That would be great. I would love a good little, I was going to say October surprise, but that doesn't really make sense in the when we're talking about horror movies. Keeper, this could be the best Oz Perkins film. I'm very excited for this one as well. I want to see a dark horror film from Oz that I actually like, which is kind of brutal. I appreciate Long Legs. I don't know if I like it. I appreciate it from a distance. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't know. The first one, I mean, and no disrespect if this is your vibe, if you like watching movies where it's just a bunch of Easter eggs to other things that you like, you probably will enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's, but I just do not. It's just not my cup of tea. I like watching movies that actually have some substance and some good storylines, doing some crazy, scary shit. There's just not a whole lot of that in that original Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if I'm super excited for the sequel, but I will definitely be covering it and checking it out, and maybe it's a big surprise. It's got a little more star power this time around, which is cool. The reunion of the original ghost faces is going to be seen in this one. Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard will be seen in that film. But I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of excitement for that one. Him and Keeper, I'm a little more pumped for him. I think those ones are going to melt my face. Chains is throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much. I like Army of Darkness for comedy, for humor, and Rise. I got you. No, dude, Army of Darkness does not get enough love, in my opinion. It's a full-blown comedy. It is a comedy horror film with a capital C. You know what I mean? Like, that's I think a lot of people go into that flick and they're like, this is supposed to be Evil Dead. This isn't scary. But like, that's the point. I feel like it's like, this is the most outrageous version of Evil Dead that Sam Raimi could possibly come up with. We've taken Ash to medieval times and now he's fighting Deadites, back in the past. It's ridiculous. There's skeletons running around. It's not even really it's not a scary film. It's just gross and outrageous, and very fun. I like it for the over-the-top ridiculous flick that it is. I think there is definitely a little bit of there's some lulls in there. I think there's like some low points of that flick for sure. But overall, I think Army of Darkness is just, for what it is, it's so unique. It's so much fun. And the peaks of that flick stand out more than anything. It's a great time. It is just such a great time. I love Army of Darkness. It's a really fun one. You got to be in the mood for it though. I think if you're looking for like the staples of this franchise, you want like blood, guts, and body horror and creepy shit. You're not getting that from Army of Darkness, you know. But it's a totally different vibe. I wish they kept the original name of The Medieval Dead. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why they changed it. Army of Darkness is cool, but Medieval Dead, that just feels like it's a joke. I mean, the title itself, it's a play on the original film's title. That's exactly what that movie is. It's basically a parody of the original flick, just like how Evil Dead 2 is that, essentially. It's a parody of the original. It's Sam Raimi saying, that movie kind of sucked. I can't believe people liked it. I love the original Evil Dead, though. I think it's great. But you can kind of get a little bit of that in that film. Like they're making fun of themselves a bit, which is fun. I think that's great. That shows a lack of ego, which is so important, I think, for a good filmmaker, somebody who really knows what they're doing. Okay. Anyways, what's going on? Did I see the Marvel Zombies trailer? Yeah, I might have seen it. That was a couple days ago, right? Maybe like was that last week that came out? I remember seeing like a flash of that. I don't know if I was going to cover it or not, but looks cool. I mean, it looks fun. I like the idea. I love when Marvel gets into horror stuff. I think that's really cool. They had a short like a little while ago that was like it was like a werewolf thing. That was pretty sick. I appreciated that. What's my favorite James Wan film? That's so tough, Matsy. Man, I mean, he's got so many good ones. I mean, in horror, he's done like Saw, Insidious, Dead Silence, Malignant. I mean, all of those are fucking fantastic. I think, for me personally, I think it's probably Insidious, just because that is such a big part of why I love horror. It's the first horror film I saw in theaters, like by myself, really. So that one's just very special to me. It scared the hell out of me as a kid. I have so much love for that film. I don't know, that it's got to be Insidious. Saw is a masterpiece. It's one of those like, I can't believe this worked kind of things. Very ambitious swing that paid off. But yeah, I think Insidious is probably I've seen Insidious. That's another one I've seen a million times. It's so much fun. I keep coming back to it. It's great. Mr. Rick is saying, good afternoon, hot take. Can't wait for Strangers Chapter 2. I'm like the only one that likes Chapter 1. Let us know why you like Chapter 1. I'm curious. I want to hear it, because I don't even want to say, I'm not even going to say a word about Chapter 1. I just want to hear why you like it. I want Chapter 2 to be good. I want it to be just like those original films, because I love 1, and then I appreciate 2 as well. Like, I think that 2 is a totally different vibe. Pray at Night, I think it's a totally different vibe than the original, but it still works. because it does one thing that chapter 1 does not do, and that's why I still like both of them, even though the tone shifts drastically between films. But in my opinion, there's literally only one thing a Strangers movie needs to do to be successful, and chapter 1 did not do that. And that was kind of my problem with it. But again, I'm curious your thoughts. I'm curious on your thoughts on the flick. Let me know. Let me know, Mr. Rick. Thank you for being a channel member too. Nicholas Brady is saying, yo, Jakey Jake, that's me. Hope you're awesome, bro. I'm always awesome. I rewatched Smile 2 and really appreciated it a lot more. Love all the foreshadowing. I just love I love the misdirections of that film. There's so many things that they're putting you through this storyline of that it's like, that's not actually happening. Get fucked. It's like, whoa. It's a very much so a movie that's punishing you for paying attention, but in like the best way, because it's a horror film. You know what I mean? I want to be scared. I want to feel like I have no idea what's going on. And even if you even if you are paying attention, even if you are trying to, see what the hell's going on, it's still going to just be like, nope, actually we're doing this instead. It's like, oh man, I think some people don't like that about the flick, but personally, that's what puts Smile 2 above the original flick for me personally, is because it focuses less on the jump scares and more on that like psychological misdirection of who knows what the hell is real or not. Like that was the best part of the original Smile, and they just like cranked that up to 11 with Smile 2. So I don't know. To me, it's like they took everything good about the original and just sweetened it, like put way more of that into the mix this time around, which was great. No complaints there. Picky Piggy is saying, how are you, Jake? I'm amazing. I'm awesome, as Nicholas Brady would say. I'm very awesome. So thank you for being here, my friend. I hope you're awesome as well. Strangers Chapter 2 going to be a banger. I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot of love for the Strangers in here. Okay, hey, rock on, baby. I'm glad we're excited for it. Honestly, I am. I hope it's a better film than the last one. For my friends who haven't seen Strangers Chapter 1 but want to see the new one this month, should I make them watch it or should they skip? I feel like it would be doing a disservice to Chapter 2 to not see Chapter 1. As much as I like genuinely hated that film, I feel like it's not going to make any sense if you don't see Chapter 1. Actually, you probably could just put on the first Strangers because it does copy it beat for beat for beat. So I don't know. Man, if you're going to make a new sequel, have a reason to do it. Like take it down a different direction. I don't know, man. Lots of things I don't love about that. Devin is saying, yo, Jake, is this your full-time job or just a hobby? Would be dope if it's your job. It is my full-time job. This is what I do for a living. It's crazy. It's that makes it tough. I will say that YouTube, I think, is a job that people are like, oh, that's going to be fun. I could just, make videos all day and then just it's not easy. It is a full-time job. I wake up at 6 a.m. and make coffee and start getting to work on videos and stuff so that my content isn't total dog shit. So it is work. It is work, and I'm very thankful. But I'm thankful that I get to do it. I can't complain because it's the best job I've ever had by far, and I'm very thankful for it. I'm somebody who cannot work. I don't respond well to authority. I'm just going to be totally honest. I'm not somebody who can do that or who could do so good at a job that I move up the ranks of a company. I physically am incapable of that. That's why I'm just so forced to enter. I'm a goofy little son of a bitch, and I have to do YouTube or I'm going to starve to death. It's kind of where I'm at in life. But I'm very grateful every single day that I get to wake up and do this, because I don't know what else I'd be doing otherwise. I'd be on the streets. I'd be a dog. Jace is saying, you might have spoke about this, but my theory is that in the trailer the woman's name is in quotation marks. What trailer are we talking about? Is she pretending? Oh, Keeper. Okay. I'm like, huh? The man's isn't Liz and Malcolm. Is she pretending to be someone she's not? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely, it seems like a movie where both parties there's something nefarious going on with both of them. I think that's kind of what's going to be the interesting element to it, is they both have something awful going on that they're not telling the other person. And that's where a lot of the insanity is coming from. I think that's where, yeah. So I think you're onto something. I think you're onto the fact that, yeah, that's likely what we're getting ourselves into, a really complex situation, which is how we can even have, two characters that are only really fueling a horror film is that they have to be really good characters. You know, what we know about Keeper is that it mostly is a single set location with only a couple of characters, like Tatiana Maslany and I can't remember the dude actor's name. I haven't done a ton of research into this, but like what I've read and seen of the trailers and stuff, that's kind of the vibe I get from it. Seems like they're both up to something kind of evil, and they're going to be at each other's throats about it for totally different reasons. But I think you might be right. I got to do a video on that at some point, because that looks like a whole new mystery to unravel for sure. Matt Z 434 saying my top 4 James Wan movies: Saw, Malignant, The Conjuring, Insidious. Very solid, very solid. But The Conjuring and Insidious are pretty much on the same level for me. Malignant is crazy underrated. Malignant does not get enough love. It's so good. Gabriel is one of those villains that I'm like, this could be like this could be a whole horror franchise. I'm kind of shocked that one didn't take off. In the same way as something like The Conjuring or not The Conjuring. I mean, Terrifier. Yeah, like The Conjuring too, I guess. But Malignant is, I don't know. I thought it was great. I thought that could have been a whole new, like we should have gotten a trilogy of Malignant movies. I feel that could have been a whole thing. Really good idea for a villain in a horror film, in my opinion. I was very blown away by that twist. Really good stuff there. I got to put that one on again. It's been too long since I've seen that movie. Thoughts on the upcoming Silent Night, Deadly Night? Dude, one of the slashers I am the most excited for within the next like 6 months or so. Wow. Yeah, like Silent Night, Deadly Night, that is going to go very hard. I'm telling you that right now. I love the original. You know, the original film is so much fun. The sequels are goofy as fuck, but that original is like genuinely scary. And from, you know, that era of 80s slashers, there's a lot of crap. You know, I'm just going to be totally honest. A lot of them are bad and made by people who have never made a film before, and it's obvious. There's nothing. Sometimes that's fun. Sometimes that can actually result in something like that's so bad it's good, or just so campy you're having a blast. I think Pieces is such a great example of that. Like Pieces is not a very good movie, but what is great about it is the fact that you have these outrageous kills, insane ideas for different shoots and scenes or whatever to make the movie still, you know, good and entertaining, and it's just outrageous, balls to the wall filmmaking. And that's kind of what I love about Silent Night, Deadly Night, is that it is a little more, you know, sophisticated, but still has those elements to it. It's just like any awful and evil thing we can have this character do, let's fucking have him do it. It's just the spirit of anything for a good scare that Silent Night, Deadly Night has, and it looks like this new flick is also going to carry that same energy. But through a modern lens with more money, you know, it's all things that like can be improved and hopefully are here in this 2025 modernized version. What else is going on here? Phoenix is saying, Jake, Halloween 2025, what did you think? It looks good. It looks like, it kind of looks like a Purge, you know, knockoff. I don't know. They're calling it the Britain's answer to Terrifier, but it looks more like a Purge movie. I watched the trailer. It just looks like Purge 6, you know? I'm excited for it. I'll definitely see it. But it looks more like a Purge movie than a Terrifier movie. That opening scene in Final Destination 7, or I think you mean Bloodlines, is still in my mind months later. Yes, Final Destination Bloodlines, still a top 10 from the year for me personally. I really enjoyed that one quite a bit. I can't wait to start talking about the next entry sometime once we get some more updates. Final Destination 7 is in the works, baby. So I'm definitely hyped about that. Picky Piggy saying they love the videos. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed the Terrifier video today if you're excited for that franchise. Really excited to do another Terrifier video. It's been far too freaking long. And we got that update maybe like 2 weeks ago that Damien was talking a little more about, you know, what those first 15 minutes were going to entail. I didn't end up making a video on it just because I kind of already talked about, like, he kind of just reiterates stuff. I mean, it's kind of just a more defined version of, yeah, you're going to see Art's origins in the first 15 minutes. I mean, he basically was saying that again to Collider. I covered that in this new video, but the cool part is the interviews with the cast and crew from the red carpet of HHN, where they were talking a little bit about this fourth installment, some of the things that they know, some of the things that they want from the franchise. That to me was the best part of this new video. So definitely check it out if you missed it. Lots to dive into, lots of theories and thoughts that I was definitely excited to get into with that one. Devin is saying, bro, I'm not going to lie. My work ethic is so bad. Like, I show up always, but I can't give 110% every day. I don't know how people do it. I'm jealous of YouTube careers. Good for you, though. it really is one of those things that a lot of people will come to me and say, you know, oh my God, you're living the dream and stuff. It must be nice to not have to work. And I'm just like, no, it's work. I only have all of this because of literally 6 years of work. 6 years on the 15th, which is, what is that? Is that next Monday? Next Monday, I will have been doing this YouTube channel for 6 years. And that's because of 6 very hard years of work, you know, and it's fun work, you know, but it is still, I got to get up. I'm on a schedule here, baby. You know, I got to make certain things happen. And I think if you want to get into YouTube, I just had someone give me a call today about they're starting a gaming channel, and I gave them a bunch of advice. And the biggest, the biggest thing if you're going to start a YouTube channel is you got to be ready to do something for the page every single day. You know, every single day, or the YouTube algorithm is gonna punish you. And if that's something that's too intense, YouTube might not be for you. And and that's not supposed to be a negative thing by any means. It's just, it is that intense. And it's rough. You can't, not everyone can do it, I guess is my point. But if you're willing to put that effort in, like, run it, man, run it. It's very worth your time, and it pays off. It just takes a while. It takes a while to get there. Super Tenor is hanging out with us, throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much. What's up? Is what they just said. Love it. I really appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, my friend. Thank you for being here. What's up? What's up? I love the devil horns too. We need a little more. We need a little more of this in life lately. So very good stuff. Thank you, Super Tenor. David the Chico throwing 5 out there too. Loving the clown mask. Feels very apropos since we're talking a little bit about Terrifier today. If Gale dies, Dewey should appear in a flashback of her life, and she should say his name before she closes her eyes. You know, apparently, according to Courtney Cox, we are getting a scene between Gale and Dewey in this flick. Another reason why I think that flashbacks are definitely happening. Courtney Cox has stated this in an interview a little while ago, but it's just one of the many reasons I think we're definitely getting flashback scenes to franchise past. And this is something I don't think is too far off from what could actually happen. I mean, think if Gale dies, you know, and then we cut to a scene of maybe like Dewey and Gale, it would kind of hit on the emotional stuff. We just saw something very similar to this in The Conjuring Last Rites this past weekend. Lots of flashbacks, lots of callbacks to, you know, the rest of the franchise, and we even had an opening scene that takes place before the events of like kind of all the Conjuring movies. I was going to say the entire Conjuring universe, but technically The Nun is like fucking 50 years or something before. That's a whole thing. I don't want someone's going to be in the comments and they're going to be like, oh, actually, you're wrong about that. And it's like, okay, chill out. But what I'll say is, yeah, I could totally see something along those lines happening. Seven feeling like this emotional, you know, almost like if you look at the franchise as a whole, is this emotional denouement to kind of close it out. You know, it's like saying goodbye to our favorite characters and pushing the franchise into some new territory. I could totally see this film being that. Kevin's saying, you know, his favorite Scream movie is Scream 6. He loves that film. He described it as a 2-hour-long chase scene or something like that recently, which I thought was awesome. I think that's what he wants for the franchise moving forward. He wants to have, you know, new characters come about and get chased by Ghostface. It can't just be Sidney forever. I'm glad we are getting another Sidney story, and we're going to have a good reason to do that. But I definitely like the idea of, you know, moving on from these characters at some point too, which I feel is controversial. Every time I say that, I always get some hate. But as long as we got Ghostface coming after new groups of characters, I'll be there. I'll be there for new Scream. That's my thing about it. But I almost feel like it would be fitting to end Gale's arc here, sacrificing herself and then kind of doing that in a sense to be more like Dewey. You know what I mean? I think that would actually be kind of wonderful and would be a great way to close out her arc. So I like that a lot, David. Thank you for the 5, my friend. It would be sad, but also a good way to end that arc, to see her sacrifice herself for the good of the group. Picky Piggy is saying my birthday is the 18th of September. When is your birthday, Jake? So I can say happy birthday to you. September 24th. I will be live on this page for that too. We will be watching VHS. Which one are we watching that day? VHS 85 on my birthday. So it's going to be fun. Yes. So stop on. You can come say happy birthday on that watch party. It'll be a good time. Sorry, I'm cursed is here saying I miss Dewey. I do too. Dewey's my favorite character. Dewey's my number one in the whole franchise. I think he has the best arc. He's the best character. I love Dewey. Samantha Robinson is saying, hey, Jake, what is your favorite Nickelodeon Halloween special? Mine is Rugrats Curse of the Werewolf. Such a great show. I loved Rugrats growing up, man. Oh, God. I don't remember any, I don't remember any Nickelodeon Halloween specials. I bet there's some good ones. I bet there's some real good ones out there. I watched a ton of Nickelodeon growing up, and I hardly remembered most of it. Oh, wait. There's some really good SpongeBob ones. I totally forgot about that. There's some good SpongeBob Halloween episodes. What's the one where he has to fit into the ghost costume and they're shaving the corners of him off, and then they take the thing off at the end and it's just his exposed brain? That's my favorite Nickelodeon Halloween thing. Oh, that one's so good. Forgot about that. Locked is with us. What is up, Locked? How's it going? Welcome in, my friend. Thinking about binging the Conjuring franchise for fun. I know that this kind of franchise, I know the kind of franchise it is, but sometimes mid-horror is comfortable. I love the Conjuring movies, man. Yeah, they're dumb, but they're a good time. I mean, you're not gonna, get any sort of emotional catharsis or something out of them, but I think they're a very good time. I also think it's important to know, that Ed and Lorraine Warren were shitty people in real life, but the fictional versions of them, a ton of fun. You know what I mean? I love Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. And I think as long as you know that, hey, we don't actually idolize these people, but can we have fun with the fictional versions of them? Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Then yeah, vibe with it, dude. I think there's a lot of good Conjuring movies, a lot of objectively good Conjuring movies, which I know some people are I have no interest in that at all. Totally fair, but I love me a good jump scare, and if that's kind of the thing you're into, if you want to just walk through a haunted house, essentially, put those movies on. They're a good time. I love haunted houses, man. I love being scared. I love being startled, and that's kind of the same emotions and feelings that those flicks elicit, and that's it, That's all. Sometimes that's all I want. Not everything needs to be this massive think piece that makes me terrified of things I didn't even know I needed to be terrified of. Sometimes we can just have fun with horror, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's my thing. I love the sophisticated art house crazy bullshit that's took somebody years to write and craft, it's this sculpture of art. But then I also love the fucking dumb flicks like this, where it's let's just turn our brains off and get chased by a spooky nun. I love it. So I don't know. I love the Conjuring franchise. It's fun. Eli Cortez is saying, what's up, Jake in chat? What's up, Eli? How's it going, dude? Don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this awesome channel. You're so kind, my friend. How are you doing today, Eli? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. Has anyone slashed your like button recently? That sounded gross, didn't it? I'm glad you're here, though, my friend. What's up? Paula loved The Conjuring. Hell yeah. You watched it twice. The new one? You watched the new one twice already? That's awesome. The new one was a ton of fun. I had a very good time with it. Seems like some people were a little more on the fence, but I was kind of bored with the last two Conjuring universe movies, but this one fucking rocked. I don't know. I had a very good time. I was going into it I was telling Madison, my fiance, I was saying she loves these movies, but she's also kind of in the same boat of the last few haven't been great. Her and I both very much dislike the third one. And we're going into this new movie and we're both we both hope it's good, but we're not expecting anything from it. We were both just kind of going into this. We're I just saw the Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't look good. And there was a point in the movie where I actually look at her and I'm this is fucking good. And she's I know. So it was great. Honest to God, one of the biggest surprises of the year, without a doubt. I had no expectations of this movie being even remotely good. And I had a very good time with it. I was shit, okay. Rock on, dude. I can't believe the opening scene almost brought me to tears. Almost. Young Ed and Lorraine Warren. God damn. Some very good stuff there. If you haven't, I see people saying, wait, the new Conjuring's out? Yes, go see it. Don't watch, well, you can watch my review. It's spoiler free. But go see it. It's actually good. I I can't believe I'm saying it. Like, the last few flicks, I was like, oh, the Conjuring franchise is dead and all this and that, but this one's good. I had a very good time with it. Sarah Thompson's with us. What's up, Sarah? I think the next Scream movie should come out around Halloween. It is kind of weird that these movies are like typically spring releases. With most of the sequels. I agree. I think it would be more fun if we were like leading up to Halloween with a new Scream film. So maybe Scream 8. We know that Scream 8 is in production, or going to be in production after Scream 7 comes out. Why not get a Halloween, like not even a Halloween, it doesn't even need to be Halloween themed, like just a Halloween released Scream film. That would be great. That'd be awesome. I also wouldn't mind another December Scream movie. Like I really liked it's we had a little bit of a talk about this on the last stream, but I liked that Scream 6 had a theme. Everybody, a lot of people are like, oh, it's not New York at all. Like New York doesn't have alleyways like that, like in the opening scene, yada yada. But I liked it was more like big city themed Scream. Like that was fun and different to me because most of the time we're in small town USA. Let's be honest, the majority of the settings of that is Woodsboro and a small college town. It feels like just small town USA is the setting of most of those flicks. But then in Screams 3 and Scream 6, we have these larger than life settings. That was very fresh feeling. That was very fun in my opinion. So I kind of want to see maybe something like that in Scream 8. If we're going to kind of go to small town USA again here, Pine Grove, Indiana, which doesn't exactly sound like the most exciting place. For the next one, could we do like maybe a Christmas themed Scream? Maybe that comes out in December. That could be so much fun. I feel like holiday set Scream, essentially. I feel like this is a franchise that is made for a holiday movie. I mean, come on, dude. There is so much that Scream can do to pay homage to Black Christmas. I am telling you right now, Scream would not exist without Black Christmas 1974. Listen, I love me a good Ghostface phone call, but the best horror phone call maybe ever is coming from old Billy in Black Christmas. That is the scariest shit I've ever heard in my life, dude. The opening scene of that movie, like it's kind of silly at first, but then he keeps talking and you're like, oh my God, this guy's like for real. That's a movie from 74 and it still creeps me out today. I don't know. That's a really impressive movie if you guys haven't seen it. I might even go so far as to say Black Christmas is a top 10 horror film of all time. I've seen it a few times now and every time I'm more impressed. I'm just like, this is from 74. I mean, this is before Halloween, kind of before Texas Chainsaw Massacre, same year. It's such an impressive. It's one of those horror classics that doesn't get enough love. God damn, it's so good. Sean P. Tattoos is saying, what do we think about Sydney's daughter being a killer because of how Sydney raised her being way too overprotective? Why would you do that, Mom? I wanted to go kiss boys under the bleachers and I don't know. What would her motive be? I don't know, man. Like what bums me out about that. But okay, here's my back and forth on this. I want to express this to my other Scream fans out there. Here's why I'm conflicted about Sydney's daughter being Ghostface. I like the idea of Ghostface being someone that is just super upsetting to Sydney, like someone that could like ruin her fucking day. Because let's be honest here, it's not fun to watch a Scream movie if everything's just going all good and happy go lucky for the main character. A slasher movie in general, I want to see our main character go through some shit and come out of it, covered in blood but successful. I think that's the fun of a good slasher movie, I want Sydney has to get tortured in this movie. I mean, that's just, if we're bringing her back, that's just, it's a must. It has to happen. But is this too far? You know what I mean? Is killing one of her kids too far? Is that to the point where it's like we've just ruined her life? That happy ending's never happening. And we know that Kevin Williamson is very protective of that. So that's kind of the question. If she either becomes what's worse, I guess, her daughter dying or her daughter becoming the killer? And I would actually argue the killer angle is way worse. She's going to have to kill her daughter. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what that means. If Sydney's daughter is the killer, Sydney is going to have to kill her own. I mean, that is so fucked up. That might be too far for Scream. Like, I love Scream, but it's not that dark of a franchise, We've had Nev Campbell come out and criticize the darkness of Scream 6. Like, she didn't like how dark it got even with Sam. And I'm like, it didn't even get that dark. It's not even that bad. So I strongly doubt we're getting a super dark and twisted ending like that, even though I would love something like that. But just talking about, talking about the things we know about Scream 7, I feel like that's not the approach that they've taken. I think it would be fun though. I want a shocking reveal. Like, I mean, like Jill, for instance, is so brutal. Like that's a twist that's like, no fucking way, man. No way is it Jill. That's so upsetting. I want to feel that again. I want to feel heartbroken at the end of a Scream film again, just like that. So can we make that happen with the daughter? I mean, you know, maybe we do get that dark. I don't know. Maybe this is all a ruse from Nev Campbell. It's like, I don't like the darkness of Scream 6. We're going to make Scream 7. It's not going to be dark. It's going to be happy and fun the whole time. No one's going to die. And then it's like, oh, it's the most brutal Scream film yet. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Matsy is saying Scream 6 is my favorite of the series, probably because of the New York theme. It was used so awesome, especially the scene in the subway was so fucking good. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's some folks who wanted more of like, I wanted Ghostface, you know, running around Ellis Island around the fucking, I was going to say the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, you know, shit like that, like more campier sequences that feel more, you know, New York, you know what I mean? Like just iconic locations used for campy scares and chases. That just that doesn't feel Scream to me. That feels too far into, that feels Jason Takes Manhattan to me rather than Scream 6. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a big difference in terms of tone there. So I'm personally very happy with how New York was utilized in Scream 6, because I feel like if it went even farther into that, it just would have been goofy. I would have been like I would have been like, this is ridiculous. I can't even. You kind of have to take a Scream movie a little seriously with what it's trying to get itself into. It's the overachiever slasher franchise that's trying to do it all. You know what I mean? You kind of have to have a little grounded elements to that to make it all work. So I'm with you. I think the New York setting really makes that film rock a little more. Danny Boy is saying Scream 8 should be in St. Louis. I know it makes no sense, but we never got anything good over there. We never got. I mean, there's Hatchet. If you're a fan of the Hatchet franchise, I'm like on the fence about Hatchet. I don't know how I feel about it, but no, that's not St. Louis. I'm sorry, that's New Orleans. My bad. St. Louis is yeah. I don't know if there is a big slasher in St. Louis. Now that I think about it, you're right. You're 100% right. I don't know why I. Hatchet is, yeah, New Orleans. I don't know why I get those confused. Crazy on me to do that. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We're in Indiana this time around. Nobody thought that was going to happen. You know what I mean? No one thought that we were going to Indiana. So I don't know. Anything could happen. Maybe we're in St. Louis. Maybe we're in Alaska this time around. Who knows? I did not see Venom: The Last Dance, Mr. Go Animator. I never got around to that one. I saw the first two Venom flicks. Never got to see the third one though. I don't, out of all the Sony, you know, licensed movies or whatever that they made, the Venom ones I don't hate. I hate them the least. So I'll have to give that one a chance. I'll have to see what it's all about. Chills Films is saying, I predict the grabber will slam someone through a TV and say, "Welcome to prime time, bitch." Dude, that would be iconic. Never seen that before. No, I'm just kidding. I hope there is some Freddy Krueger references if there's not already from the trailer. I mean, dude, there's some, yeah. There's already a ton of horror references in the Black Phone 2 trailer. I mean, there's the ice skating thing. That's a total reference to Curtains. The most popular scene from that is the ice skating kill. So I love that. I thought that was really cool. Nice little homage. So I'm sure there's going to be some Nightmare on Elm Street homages. You'll definitely see, I think you'll see some TVs in there. Oh, this is a good question from Sean. Jake, what is your kill count prediction for Scream 7? Let's see if it comes true. That would be a good, I need to make some Scream videos. I need to make a Scream video this week. That might be what I do, because I have 2 Scream videos in mind that are not based on updates. That's a pretty good one, though. I kind of like the idea of a kill count prediction. I'll go through the cast and kind of just talk about who I think is going to live, die, or be the killers. Now, you know, and I think I did a video on that like maybe a year ago, but like to do that now when we're getting closer to, you know, the release of it, we have a lot more information about the film now too. You know, I think that's the other big thing. So that would be kind of cool. That would be dope to see our thoughts now compared to how we were thinking about it a year ago, right? So I'm gonna have to. I'll get on that for you, Sean. That's a good idea. Cryptic Haze is also with us. What's up, my friend? Saying, how about we get a slasher movie where there is a slasher, but he has dyslexia, so he doesn't even know he's the killer, just from dyslexia, and he's chasing himself the whole movie. Oh my god. There's there's kind of plays on that where the people don't know they're the killer. There's a movie, I think it's actually called You Might Be the Killer or something along those lines. And it's what's the name of that? I always forget. You Might Be You Might Be the Killer. That's what it is. It's a 2018 film. I think if you're a Scream fan, you'll really like this movie. Keith David was in that. Why do I not remember that at all? I do not remember Keith David being in this movie. This is a really good watch, though. I enjoyed this quite a bit. It's on Hulu, which is great. You Might Be the Killer. It's a meta horror slasher, but kind of its own thing. It's very unique. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say what it gets into, but it's good. I had a very good time with it. I know some of these people on the cast. That's interesting. Keith David's the biggest name, but rock on. Very good movie, though. You're welcome for the video idea. Now where's my check? I'll give you all $8 that I make from that video. I promise. If you want the $8, man, you can come and claim it. LFC is saying it's hard to see how art will kill people brutally if it's set in hell, as Sienna is probably going to go there to save Gabby. I see. Here's the thing about getting to hell. It's not easy, though. So along the way, I think that's when we're going to get our big kills. And I also think Terrifier 4, again, I feel like, here's the thing. Let's look at the franchise as it is right now, LFC. We just put out 2 movies where, the big focus was, we're going to try to top what came before it. We're going to do crazy kill after crazy kill. And now, let's also take into account everything we know from Mr. Damian Leone that he's been talking about. He's like, I think we're going to do one more and we're going to call it quits. Why is that? I feel like at a certain point, you just can't top yourself anymore. You know what I mean? I think the kills in Terrifier 3 are the best of the franchise. Even though the bedroom kill, probably objectively the very best one in the whole thing. Maybe the hacksaw, even in the original, there's an argument for that too. But I really don't think the goal with Terrifier 4 is going to be topping what came before it in terms of just kills. I think it's going to be topping what came before it in terms of concept. So, how do you do that? I say your front half of the movie, typical Terrifier movie, but getting us to hell. Back half of it, we're seeing angels and demons and shit rip each other apart. Now that is an elevation. You know what I mean? Just if Art the Clown's just ripping people to shreds again, we kind of just expect that at this point. Of course we're going to get that. Of course we're going to get some insane kills from Art the Clown here. But I also think it might be kind of cool if we're seeing angels and demons doing fucking battle. That's surprising. That's shit we've never seen before in one of these franchises. That's crazy. So I agree that I don't think the whole thing's going to be in hell, but I think getting there is going to be what the front half of the film is going to be all about. Because, Gabby's down there, there's her armor, there's so much shit that's been set up about going to the underworld. I think we even had, in that video that I made today, we actually had Lauren Lavera and David Howard Thornton talking about how the bus at the end of Terrifier 3 is going to take Art to the underworld. And on the bus in Terrifier 3, the girl is reading a book called The Ninth Circle, which is that's directly referencing, Dante's Inferno, all that fun shit. So it's just we're going to hell. It's just how is the big question. I really in LFC, I think Damien knows that we don't want to just see a movie with fire and brimstone. We also want to see a movie with Art the Clown ripping people to shreds, which is why I think it's going to take us a minute, to really set all that up. We're not just Portal to Hell's not just going to open up and Sienna's going to jump through it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be a little more complex than that. Piggy getting into some Final Destination talk. Those movies need a sequel set on holidays such as Halloween and Christmas. That also another franchise where I feel like that could totally fit that. 100%. I totally feel like Christmas Final Destination would be sick. That would be a lot of fun. After this last one, Final Destination Bloodlines is such an interesting movie because I think in terms of tone and feel, it feels like we picked up right where we left off from Final Destination 5. But in terms of concept, it is so much more elevated than the last couple of flicks. It totally reworks the formula. We don't even really have an opening premonition, not really. The way it's set up and structured is so much weirder and different than every other film in that franchise. I'm curious what they do with the next one. Knowing that, do we go back to the old formula or do we keep doing weird shit moving forward? I don't even know. I think as long as they keep that tone, that they've established so well with this film that feels right in line with where we left the franchise. You know, like what is that? 14 years ago? Is that 14 years? I think so. Yeah, that's 14 years. I'm like, I have to check my math on that one. Jesus. But I think yes, as long as we keep that tone, we can kind of apply it to whatever. If it's Christmas, Halloween setting, whatever. There's so many different ways you can die during Christmas. I mean, that alone could fuel an entire movie. I mean, could you imagine someone like an icicle going through someone's fucking head or something after slipping on a porch or something? I mean, that's so simple, but would be so effective. Someone slips, hits a porch really hard, and an icicle just breaks, goes right through their mouth or something. I mean, that would be awesome, and it would be like so simple. You know what I mean? That I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind when I when I thought of that. I love me a good icicle kill. Flamingo Productions is saying, "Hi Jake, have you seen the Walton File, an analog horror YouTube series based on Five Nights at Freddy's? Just way more fucked up and scarier." I'm into it, dude. Rock on. Five Nights at Freddy's is such a scary concept. I don't know why it doesn't. Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't understand why I understand why the movies aren't scarier. Blumhouse likes money, but I think there should be like an adult counterpart to Five Nights at Freddy's, because I really think it is a scary concept that could be elevated into more of an R-rated flick. So I'm here for that. Cryptic Haze, I got to do a video about this. A few people have commented this on the page. Did Blumhouse just kill Gwen off in the new trailer? I don't think so. I think that's a dream. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think that's just a dream. And I feel like, so here's my theory. I'm going to make a video on this at some point, but my theory is that, okay, let's take it back. Take a step back with me real quick. Follow me into this weird little theory of mine. Follow me into the theory hole. Okay. The grabber in this new trailer says, "What happens when you die in a dream? Let's find out." I think the rules are different than Freddy Krueger, because we can't just rip off Nightmare on Elm Street entirely. You know what I mean? We can't just do the exact same thing. Just like how In a Violent Nature didn't do the exact same thing as Friday the 13th, you know, but it's cosplaying as Jason to do something different. What's cool though about In a Violent Nature is that it's still a very effective movie, but just turning the whole formula on its fucking head. I think Black Phone 2 is approaching with this exact same formula in an exact same way. And how I mean by that is, I think what they're going to do is they're going to say that you can get killed multiple times in a dream before you're actually dead. It's going to be like Happy Death Day rules, where it's like you can die a certain amount of times, but it's going to take a little bit out of you, you know? So I think we're going to see this character die many, many times before we actually get down to it, because it's a play on Sinister too, is honestly how I feel about it. Like, think about how every time Ethan Hawke in Sinister is watching those tapes, you know, he gets a little further down the mystery, figuring out more stuff, but he is also seeing this awful, horrific shit happen to people, which is great. So I really think it's going to be one of those things where it's just, we're going to see this character get killed a ton of different times in a ton of different really fucked up ways, but we'll see. Erica's reminding everybody we only need 6 more super chats and we're going for another hour. There is only 2 minutes left on that bad boy. We'll see if it happens. Mr. Rick is saying, "Hey Jake, I'm home now. Did you miss my response about The Strangers, why I like it? So can you retype it? I'm so sorry. I must have missed that, my friend. I was trying to get to all the chats, but there's a lot are coming through. But let me know. I want to hear it. I want to play it all out. I'm quite curious. I really want to talk. I really want to like The Strangers Chapter 2, so I need a reason to go revisit 1. David Primero is saying, "Should scary movie parody Final Destination wherein Ghostface gets victimized by falling roller coaster? That could be funny. Or some logs keep hitting like the scary movie Ghostface, and that's how our characters get away or something. That could be really funny. I'd be into that." Picky Piggy is happy that Final Destination is back. Me too. I'm really hyped up about Final Destination 7. I cannot wait to see what that's all about. Is Jake growing the Tony Stark beard? Asks Marley Kai. Yes, I am growing out a beard slowly but surely. I've never done it before, so if you couldn't tell. We're making it happen though. I'm trying, doing my best. Honestly, I really think that Terrifier 4 could be like Terrifier meets Has-Been Hotel. Yeah, I think we're going to see some angels and demons running around fighting each other. It's going to be a little more high concept. I don't know if everyone's gonna like it, but I think that's part of the fun. I think that's part of the fun is that we're doing some weird shit. He's got to dodge logs like like Donkey Kong. I'm for it. I'm all for that too. That sounds great. That's fucking hilarious. Your beard grows fast. That must be nice. I don't know what that's like. This is 2.5 weeks of work right here is what this is. And I look like I'm a teenager in high school right now. LFC is saying, I have a feeling that the woman driver at the end of In a Violent Nature is somehow related to Johnny the killer, possibly the mother. Well, we're getting a sequel, so we might learn more about her there. I definitely want to know more about Johnny and his whole backstory. I feel bad for the guy. I'm a pro Johnny fella, I guess is what I'm trying to say. My theory for Black Phone 2, it will be Halloween Kills Infinity War of the Black Phone series, and it will end with one of the twins dying and losing, and the one going to seek revenge. Do we feel like we're setting up a Black Phone 3 with this one? Because I'm getting that. I'm getting that vibe, like this reinvention of the franchise entirely to kind of tell a different story. Because, you know, don't forget the Black Phone, the original one, it's based off of a Joe Hill story. It's based off of a short story that they, you know, elongated into a feature-length film, and now, you know, we're completely if we were off book a little bit in certain elements of the original movie, we are completely off book for you know, phase 2, maybe moving into a phase 3. But again, I think this is Blumhouse going back to something that Jason Blum said a very long time ago. He was talking about wanting to, you know, bring back A Nightmare on Elm Street. They wanted to do that, but the rights are just so fucked up, you know, that would just be really tough to do. Get a lot of people into a room and agree to, you know, having Blumhouse take over their franchise. I think what they're doing is they're like, hey, you know, psychic scary dreams was the thing in Black Phone Part 1. Why don't we make a whole series of sequels where it's, you know, Black Phone 2, Black Phone 3, Black Phone 4, where it's just basically the Grabbers Freddy Krueger now with our own new set of rules that differentiates him from the other Dream Demon, essentially. So I feel like that's kind of what we're getting ourselves into. I could totally see more Black Phones coming out if this one does well. If this one hits, yeah, we'll see a Black Phone 3, I think, for sure. Marley Kai's also trying to grow a beard. We can be growing beard buddies. I'm all about that. I'm all about beard buddies. Oh my God. What else is up? Sarah Thompson is saying, is Devon Sawa going to be in Scream 7, or was that a rumor? Rumor for now, and I don't know if we have anything confirmed about that. That would be cool though. I'd love to see Devon Sawa on Scream. That would be fun. Kind of Final Destination crossing over into there. That would be fun. Mr. Rick says, I like Chapter 1 because I know it mirrors the first one too, but they're going a different way in Chapter 2 and 3. I'm the opposite. I kind of want to know why they're doing it. You want to know, like, you want an explanation. I gotcha. We already got the mystery in 1. Now we're going to find out why. And I love the scene in Chapter 1 where she's playing the piano and he's hiding right behind her in the chair, listening, creepy. I think that's the fun of the like, here's my argument about The Strangers, Mr. Rick. I mean, I totally get wanting to, you know the answers. I think that's like why we come back for certain sequels, you know. But with The Strangers, like, they're not Art the Clown or Ghostface or Michael Myers. They don't really have an iconic look. They're just 3 people in Spirit Halloween masks. You know what I mean? Like, I think what's cool about them is the fact that we don't know anything. That, like, their superpower is that we don't know who they are. We don't know anything about them. And these new movies are treating them like they're Michael Myers. This new movie is treating them like they are a Ghostface, when they're just not. And I feel like that's the point. Like, the point is that they were people who just up and decided, hey, I'm gonna go grab put on a mask and start chopping up some people to bits. And like, that's why they look like that. You know, this is not me criticizing their designs or, you know, who they are as slashers. No, that's exactly the point. That's what Brian Bertino totally intended with that original film. At least that's what works so well about the 2008 film for me. Is the fact that it's just like, here's this, here's these people that just literally, what would it look like if people actually decided to go and start killing people as slashers? Like The Strangers, chapter 1. I feel it, not chapter 1, the original The Strangers. That's exactly what it would look like. And now we've elevated these characters to icons, where they're Michael Myers. We're giving them a whole curse of Michael Myers backstory. And I'm just like, I don't think we need that. I feel like these are characters who, are fun. The only reason they are so fun and they work so well is because we don't know anything about them, right? It's not like they're any like higher Hollywood levels of designs and have these iconic looks that are made fun of in pop culture and all that. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. But I'm excited to see chapter 2 because, hey, if it's better than chapter 1, we're going up. We're here. Right now we're here with The Strangers. We're below, for me at least, Bedrock, and I think it's only up from here. Strangers chapter 2, it has to be a better film than chapter 1, and I'm here. Listen to this, knocking on fucking wood, baby. Is this desk made of wood? It doesn't look like it, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's good though, Mr. Rick, and I'm glad that you're excited for it. Really, I am. I'm always here for new slashers. You know what I mean? So rock on. I'm glad you're excited. Hopefully this one rocks. It's only a couple of weeks too. This weekend we got Long Walk, which is hype as fuck. Him next week, and then we got The Strangers chapter 2 after that. So lots of fun movies on the horizon for sure. Definitely excited to get into all these. The OG Strangers movies are great, and I was very disappointed in chapter 1. I feel it. Devontae Arnold is saying it would be nice to get another slasher crossover at the end of Jason Goes to Hell. We got a Freddy teaser. Maybe after Scream we get a surprise teaser. Scream with like what though? Like I feel like Scream is such a like I feel like the only slasher movies we could do like verses of like is like the ones where it's like just an established killer. And the whole thing with Scream is that it's a different person every time, I almost would want to see like I'd almost rather get like a Chucky versus movie or something, like Chucky versus Megan. I don't know. It would be kind of tough with Scream because I feel like that's such a unique slasher in the sense that it's literally somebody different every single time. Because like if we did a crossover with something else, is it like, are we doing a murder mystery, with like, I guess you could do I Know What You Did Last Summer, with those characters crossing over for whatever reason. But I don't know. I feel like Scream's a tough one to do a crossover. Raptor Crashers is saying Art the Clown versus Count Orlok. That's crazy. I love that. For me, Strangers chapter 1 is the only movie for me because it's based on a real life case that remains unsolved. The rest aren't canon. Oh, the first Stranger. I get what you're saying. That's so confusing with it being chapter 1 and Strangers 1. It's messing me up. It is interesting. Some people don't like Pray at Night because it's a little goofier. It's got like a little more of a, not goofy. It's got a little more of a campy tone to it. It's got like a little more larger than life, but again, it keeps that feel of it's not trying to explain who these people are. And I like that. That to me is what keeps that's all I need. Again, you can kind of do whatever you want with these characters, just don't explain them. and I'll be happy. That's kind of my one thing about The Strangers that I just do not want to know. Smells Like Teen Horror is saying, dude, I had a dream last night that your character from Red Right Hand had me and his car and would not let me go unless I gave him a flash drive. Give me the flash drive, Eric. Give it to me. No, I'm just kidding. That greasy weirdo. What a guy. That would be a fun. I got to rewatch that, man. It's been too long since I've seen it. Oh, God. Brutal shit. Dave Sim is saying both original Strangers were great. And even though I was disappointed with chapter 1, I'm still excited for chapter 2 and 3 to see where he goes. I definitely feel like 2 and 3 have got to be better, I don't know. How could it be worse than that? Jake, I would love to see Halloween X Final Destination crossover where Death uses Michael Myers as a right hand, but still kills some people like Rube Goldberg style. Hey, that could be fun. I'd be into it. I'd be into some crazy shit like that. Marley Kai is saying the original The Strangers shouldn't have a sequel because I feel like it disrespects the real life case. That would be like if someone made a sequel to the Zodiac Killer. I feel like it's enough of its. I mean, I don't know the original case personally. I don't know it. that well, but like I feel like it's one of what I know about The Strangers. It feels like it's one of those things that's like just based on that. Like this is a fictional story based on like kind of like how Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on Ed Gein, but maybe I'm wrong in saying that. Maybe I'm wrong in all that. I feel like that's a very unique situation. I don't know. What do I know? But I like The Strangers as characters. I feel like we can kind of apply that to different. It's not like we got Jeffrey Dahmer walking around. you know what I mean? If we did like American Psycho, but it's with Jeffrey Dahmer, like that would be kind of fucked up. Cryptic Haze is saying, been watching Buffy and gotta say Xander is selling Willow greater than Cordy any day. I have not seen Buffy. I that's total gibberish to me. I'm so sorry. DJ Zero is saying, what's your thoughts on the movie The Long Walk? And are you looking forward to seeing it? Absolutely. I'm checking it out Thursday night. Really hyped for that. I hope it's good. And I think it's going to be. It's written by J.T. Molnar. You know, he's the Strange Darling guy, and I just loved that movie. I think the script for that especially was phenomenal. So I feel like this is going to be the same case. Long Walk is one of those stories that is I had someone comment this the other day, and while I agree with this, but I also feel like there's more to The Long Walk. It's one of those movies where I think you might have an idea of how it's going to end before you've even seen it. Like if you've seen the trailer, I think you can kind of figure out how the story's going to end. But that one is more about the journey rather than the destination. Even from the King novel, which I'm sure they've taken liberties and made it different because it is a short story. They got to flesh this out into a whole damn thing. I feel like it's going to carry that same spirit though of it's about the journey. It's about learning about this very awful dystopian world from this one event without really seeing it. And I think that's that's kind of the brilliance of The Long Walk in a lot of ways. So I think like, something like the Hunger Games, you're seeing everything actively happen. But what's cool is like shielding you from it. You're just hearing stories and perspectives from characters about what this dystopian world looks like. That's the horror of The Long Walk. You know what I mean? That to me is what I think is going to work really well about the flick and make it really unique, stand apart from other like apocalyptic dystopian universes. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see this one. I think it's going to be a very big hit, I hope. Love me a good Stephen King movie too. Dave Sim is saying, would you be disappointed if the killer at the end of the new Scream wasn't revealed and carried on to be the next movie? I wouldn't be disappointed. More than anything, I just want Scream 7 to do something fresh. I want to do something they've never done before. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like the new I Know What You Did Last Summer where they're just doing something without even setting it up. They're just like, here's some crazy outlandish shit and it's going to come out of absolutely nowhere. That's not satisfying as a viewer. That's just frustrating. That's just really like, okay, you just wanted a big twist here. You didn't want to do the work to get us to that point. Have a reason, have a reason to keep a villain in the dark, hopefully you have a good reason to do that across multiple movies. That's like, that could result in one of the craziest killer reveals ever, or one of the most disappointing, depending on how you execute it. So I'm really hoping that I think there's a right way to do that too. Like, I feel like here's my thing. If the killer is from the cast that we already know of, I would be disappointed if they kept that person a mystery across movies, because we'll figure it out. We will. Like, I'm telling you that right now. There's some guy is going to watch that movie 100 times. It's going to probably be me. And we'll figure it out. There's some kind of clue in Scream 7 that will give us that idea if they decide to not reveal the killer. But if it's somebody that, doesn't even come into the story until the next part, okay, see, now this is interesting. Now we're cooking, right? There's a way to do this without the Scream fan base ruining it for themselves in between movies, if they go that direction, I would say. Because I just feel like if it's like, let's say it's McKenna Grace, just for the sake of argument, and we don't know it's her, isn't like the majority of this cast going to die, before the movie wraps up? Like, it's only going to be between like 2 or 3 people, realistically, that we're going to be arguing about in between films that they do a cliffhanger like that. It's got to be someone who we don't know. Like, honestly, and Jacob is talking about Stu, like, maybe it's like, let's say it's Stu, okay? There can't be a fucking hint. There can't be an air of that within the film. If it's like a dead character from the past, or if it's someone we've never met before that doesn't show up until the next movie. That's the only way you could approach it, because you got to keep us in the dark for as long as possible with something like that. So I would say the shock of that is what you should focus on, not so much of keeping the fan base guessing. Just the, oh my God, Ghostface didn't get revealed, the movie's over. What do you mean? What do you mean we're seeing the credits directed by Kevin Williamson? What the fuck? That's how you end something like that. Would you go see the Long Walk movie on a treadmill? They were doing that in some theaters I've seen. I would totally do that. That would be awesome. When I was working out, and I haven't in a while, which is a problem. I got to get back on that. But when I was working out, I would actually get on the treadmill and I would either listen to an entire podcast or I would like watch half a movie and then finish the movie the next time I got on the treadmill. So I usually go for like 45 minutes. So that was like the perfect time for either a podcast or like half a movie. What else is going on here? Jacob Wells is saying, hey, Jake, if it's true, then what would Stu's reason for his return be? It's probably not true. Stu is probably not alive. What would his reason be? I don't know. I really don't know what his reason would be. He was the sidekick in the original Scream. He doesn't really give off mastermind vibes from the last time from where we left him. I don't know. I don't know. I want to, I think it's like a fun theory. It's one of those things that I think is like, I love Stu as a character. Awesome dude. But like, he's no mastermind. he's no genius by any means. He's kind of an idiot. And that's why I love him. You know what I mean? I just feel like the portrait that's been painted of this character by the fan base is making him out to be somebody he's not. Like I could see, if Billy was like some mysterious mastermind that we could prove to be alive somehow still, maybe like, okay, Roman, okay, maybe not Stu though. I don't know. I feel like Stu's kind of just like he was forced into it by Billy. He's the bottom, one might say. Idea for Final Destination 7, the monkey from the monkey magically appears in the Final Destination universe and causes the deaths and accidents in the movie. Now, see, those are two franchises that could totally cross over. That's ridiculous. I love it. Jake, if my friends have seen the original Strangers, I answered this earlier, my friend. I would say if they haven't seen The Strangers Chapter 1, make them see. Yeah, they got to see that to see Chapter 2. I feel like that wouldn't be. I mean, Chapter 1, in my opinion, isn't a very good film, but like, I just feel like you're probably going to do a disservice to Chapter 2 that is picking up right where we left off with Chapter 1 by not seeing that. So they should probably see Chapter 1 would be my guess. What else is going on? Would you be mad if Ghostface from Scream 7 is a robot controlled by the real killer? Is this like oh my God, what is that movie? Oh fuck. Is it Men in Black where it's like the little tiny aliens like puppeting the giant robot person? That's what it is the whole time. I knew it. I love that. What is that? Is that from like the Jay and Silent Bob movie or whatever, where it's like Wes Craven and he's like, oh, I got a new twist for my new Scream movie. And it's like, it's a monkey in the fucking Ghostface mask or whatever. That's so funny. I love that shit. Wes Craven was awesome. We miss him dearly. The movie The Strangers is based on the Ketty Cabin 28 murders in 1980. My photo is the picture of the family. The murders are the most notorious unsolved murder in American history. No, that's crazy. I did not know that. I got to do a deeper dive into The Strangers. I mean, I know the film for the film, but I gotta do a little deeper dive into that one. I've always really appreciated it. It's my favorite home invasion thriller. It's so effectively scary. I love it. It terrifies me. It's a great cat and mouse. It's so simple, but it works so well. Jake, I hope they don't turn Black Phone into Children of the Corn. I don't think it's going to be. I see what you're saying. I think I totally get what you're saying about like the religious cult thing. I feel like that's only going to be a small element. I don't think it's going to be too, evil kids running around. So here's what we know about Black Phone 2 that they're declining to show us in the trailers, by the way, which I think is interesting. There's an actor in that movie whose name it's like Demian Bichir or something like that. I'm totally butchering that, I feel. but he's like an Academy Award nominated actor, which I mean is, better than most actors. Holy shit. He's playing this like supervisor, this camp supervisor character who's, we see him a few times in the trailer, but it's like, you wouldn't even recognize the guy kind of thing. I think he's very, very much so in on the evil. Like, I think he's going to be like a secondary antagonist of sorts, who's part of why the mother even had the psychic dreams in the first place. I feel like, again, we're twisting things that are very Stephen King, very Joe Hill. Like, I mean, Firestarter, little girls with superpowers, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's things that like are in a lot of these stories, it's shit they're either born with or, given to them against their will by like a government agency or something along those lines. So let's twist that a little bit. What if it's a religious cult that conjured this up and gave this awful power through some sort of satanic ritual? You know what I mean? Something along those lines. That could be crazy. Oh, you mean more so like endless amounts of sequels? Out of a 2 or 4 page story. I see what you mean. Yeah, I was thinking you were meaning more like religious cult thing, like kind of how Children of the Corn is, because we're seeing flashes of like, the glowing cross and all that shit in the trailer. So I definitely think we are getting ourselves into that. I don't want endless sequels either, but I also I want a Freddy presence in modern horror. I mean, we're, some may disagree with this and that's totally fine, but I feel like we're living through another like 80s. We're living through another golden age of horror right now where so much is booming. I mean, people who say that, there's no horror, no more good horror movies anymore, you're just not looking hard enough. There is truly something for everybody right now. And I think that's what's amazing about it. There's not like 1 or 2 things that are trending. It's like you can find everything right now. Sci-fi, slasher, supernatural, ghost stories, found footage. I mean, there's a movie coming out every single week that is some sort of crazy big hitter in different genres. I mean, just look at some of the highest grossing horror films of the year so far. If it's The Conjuring, Last Rites, Sinners, Weapons, or Final Destination. I mean, all 4 of those films are totally different from one another. One's a period piece with vampires. One is a movie that's, I don't want to spoil Weapons yet. I don't want to say what Weapons is, but it's unique. It's not vampires and it's not a period piece. Final Destination movie. That's just its own thing. And then a fucking haunted house flick. I mean, like, that's 4 very different things that are booming all in the same year. That's crazy. That's awesome. We're living in a little bit of a golden age right now. I want a Freddy presence, I guess is my point. I want a Dream Demon taking center stage for a minute here. So I don't want a million sequels either, because I feel like at a certain point you're running out of ideas. But I do want to see a couple, because here's the other thing too. He wasn't a Dream Demon in part 1. Now this is a totally different version of the grabber, totally different version of this story. You could almost look at Black Phone 2 as like its own original thing. You know what I mean? This is almost like a new original, kind of like how Terrifier 2 was compared to the first Terrifier. It's almost like this is the start to the story, just like how Black Phone 2 could kind of be like the start of a new thing, essentially. That's kind of how I'm looking at this flick. It's a total reinvention of what came before it, even though it is continuing the story. So I could kind of go for a Black Phone 3 and 4, and then maybe kind of cut it off there. But I'd be okay. If this movie rocks, I'd be okay with 2 more. The Chill Killer is saying, that is true. My boy Ghostface is hitting the big screen pretty soon. Very excited for that. Very excited for some Scream 7. 6 months away, less than that. Picky Piggy is saying there was a lot of cut stuff from Final Destination 6 that I hope gets used in Final Destination 7. The boat for the opening scene, I'd love to see that for the next one. That would be dope. Luddy Network is saying Weapons was fucking awesome. That's all the spoils you need to know. You are so right, my friend. Weapons was fucking awesome, and if you haven't seen it yet, dude, you got to see Weapons. That is like the must-see movie of the year, without a doubt. Phenomenal flick. I was blown away. I'm bummed I didn't get to go see it in the theaters again. Marley Kai is saying, what's your favorite vampire besides Dracula? So Bram Stoker's Dracula is my favorite vampire flick, like without a doubt. Lost Boys is up there. Honestly, this new Nosferatu is up there. I do love the Werner Herzog version of Nosferatu as well. Trying to think what other vampire movies I really like. 30 Days of Night, dude. 30 Days of Night, probably my favorite vampire flick besides like Bram Stoker and Nosferatu. Shit. I mean, that movie, that floored me the last time I saw it. It's Troy is saying, I got a new room. I did. What's up, Troy? How's it going, dude? Yes, I'm in an apartment now, but we'll we'll still be hanging out. We'll still be hanging out sometime, my friend. I gotta message mom and dad. I gotta ask when the rest of the family's all getting together. I gotta know. I want to know what's up. Joe Bedgret is hanging out with us. What's up? What's up? Hi, hello. What's up? What's up? What's up? The Chill Killer is saying, not to mention, I'm not sure if you're that big on the series, but we're getting another Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which looks really good. Like, I genuinely looks like something classic horror, like some ghost stories. I will say, as much as I wasn't crazy about the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the trailer for 2 looks like a much stronger film than the last one. So I am excited. I hope the new one's good. I hope it bangs. Luddy Network is saying, oh, Jake, hit us with the throwback Lost Boys. And yes, 30 Days of Nights was dark, no pun intended. It was very dark. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, Lost Boys is a classic. It's great. It's a really fun watch. But yeah, if you want like scary vampires, like 30 Days of, I think that's the scariest vampire movie ever made. Like, that's, whew, man, freaked me out the first time I saw it, and it still does to this day. I have a Blockbuster video, like a Blu-ray of that, which is so funny. I love 30 Days a Night. That one's so good. I've told this story before, but I got to, when Blockbuster closed down, they like gave me a bunch of Blu-rays, and I feel so bad because before that I stole Blu-rays from them. Kids, don't steal. Don't do that. It's bad. I was a bad kid. But I stole Alien vs. Predator Requiem and something else. The movie Black Sheep. It's a New Zealand horror flick that I think is really good. I stole both of those, but I did get 30 Days of Night and something else. As a child when they were closing, they like just gave it to me. They're like, just take it, kid. We're out of business. It was like 2009 Blockbuster, you know, no, who cares? Samantha saying, Jacob, you are on stream and the cat wants to steal my phone. Your cat likes the sound of my voice. I've heard you say before. That's so funny. I love that. Hello, Samantha's cat. Meow, meow, meow. Did you see McKenna Grace is in Five Nights at Freddy's too? Damn, she's busy, man. Oh my God. In span of 2 months, she's going to be in 2 of the biggest horror releases. That's crazy, man. Good for her though. She's great. She rocks in a lot of really good movies and shit, man. She was awesome on The Handmaid's Tale. I just finished that show very recently before we got into the apartment. And I just, I don't know. It's always cool to see her and stuff. I wish we got more of her character in that show, though. Kind of feel like they wrapped that up. They wrapped up that storyline pretty quickly and didn't do much else. Teddy is also hanging out with us. What's up, Teddifer? How's it going? Good evening. We're playing some games tonight. Want to actually talk about this a little bit. We're kind of changing up the strategy over on the gaming channel. Go subscribe if you want. You know, I'm not forcing you to do anything if you're not interested in games, no worries. But we are going to be doing just like straight up videos there for a little while. I think we're only going to be streaming on Saturdays moving forward, but what's fucked up is we're streaming on Friday over there. Now, no, there's not going to be a Friday stream on this page. We're doing all our streams from Monday through Thursday this week. So we're doing a big stream Friday over there, but moving forward, gaming streams are going to be on Saturdays now. So just for the record, we're only doing 1 stream a week over there, and it's going to be video focused for a little while. So definitely check out some of those videos over there if you want. If you're not interested in games, though, no worries. Teddy, sorry about the spiel. Thanks for hanging out with us, though, my friend. I appreciate you. I hear that you mostly enjoyed The Conjuring Last Rites, by the way. So let us know your thoughts on that. Luddy Network is saying, now that I think of it, 30 Days of Night might have the best blood on snow scenes. Oh, dude, you are absolutely correct. That's why I want more bloody slasher flicks, honestly, is because of that movie. Like that movie scared the shit out of me. And like, I just love the snowy setting, man. I mean, it does so much for me. Obviously, The Thing, probably before that, was one of the biggest, snowy horror flicks. But like that movie, 30 Days a Night, like they're just so effectively terrifying. Some great settings there, for sure. Raggedy Man, thank you so much for being a channel member. What's up, my friend? Drops a dime on Jake. What up? What up? Welcome in. Welcome in. Do the comment on your videos a few times. I'm just curious. Would you ever consider doing a sequel to your Scream? Would I ever consider doing a sequel to the Scream fan film? Like, I don't really think it needs one. I just want to see another. So we are working on an original flick right now. We made an original short film at the top of the year. It didn't really get as much love as the Scream fan film, but go check it out. It's called Chicken Man. It's a little slasher that I made, and I'm very proud of it. But we're working on an original movie right now. All I'll say is it's not a slasher. We're moving into some different territory. But I would not be opposed to going back to the slasher arena at all by any means. I do love me some good. A good slasher flick. I really think that Chicken Man would be my, like, if I could do a feature length thing, I would want to make Chicken Man into a long feature. I just don't really, I don't know what I don't want to make a Scream fan film that's just, by the numbers. I think that's why I made Red Right Hand, is because it's so weird, it's so different. I don't think it's my first movie, so I don't think it's great by any means, but it was very fun to make. And I'm just I'm happy with what it is, and I don't know if I need to return to that. It's kind of it's kind of one of those things. I think it's just it's a cool little standalone. It's one of those things where it's like you can take it or leave it as being part of the franchise or not. I think that's the fun of it, but. I would absolutely love to make. I want to make another feature film at some point. It's kind of what's tough about that is money and getting people on board to do it. So it's just one of those things where we're getting around to it. But I'm just I'm focusing on the YouTube for right now as I write scripts in the background. So I got about 15 pages of something right now that I would love to shoot soon. Because I think it's a very good idea. Again, not a slasher. That's all I'll say about it for right now. But in my opinion, it's the best thing I've written yet. I'm really proud of it, where it stands now. Mastermind Killer throwing $5 out there. Dude, I'm so mad at myself that I haven't seen this one. Have I seen Funny Games 2007 with Naomi Watts? It's an excellent and dark home invasion movie. No, I've heard so many people have recommended it to me. And it's funny, Paul, whenever I bring up The Strangers, this movie comes up a lot. And I'm always like, I see I've seen the trailer for it. I've seen the images from it, and it looks really terrifying. Looks like something right up my alley. I've never actually sat down and watched it. I'm going to have to check that one out if I can find it. But I've heard it's good. I've heard a lot of people have recommended it to me on this page before. I got to sit down and watch that one. Because I love me a good home invasion thriller. Like, honest to God, like The Strangers and Don't Breathe. I love those movies to death. If it's anything like that, like, I'm here for it. Like, hell yes to that, dude. Funny Games. These games I hear are not so funny, more dark and scary. But thank you so much for the 5, my friend. I really appreciate that. Also love anything with Naomi Watts. Crazy underrated actress. I feel like nowadays, especially, like we don't talk about her as much. Coffee's done for, baby. Let's go. Ugh. I should do a collab with OHM Wrecker for DBD game streams. Where, I would love to play more DBD. My friends I play games with are just not so into DBD. They're not so big of fans of it. I'm really trying to figure out what to do with that game channel, because I either want to kind of just go all in on like here's what's going through my brain right now. Again, full transparency. I could do a gaming channel where I'm just playing horror video games and bring the same same people from over here over there. But I think I kind of want to I think the whole goal of starting another page is to have a whole new whole new base of people, whole new group of folks coming in and seeing a different kind of content. And I love all you guys, not saying I don't. I think I kind of want to build like a whole new base over there of people that want a different kind of content, because there are times where I'm just I think I need to get away from horror. I love horror movies. I could talk about it all day, and I do. But it is also nice to get into some video games that are just something different. It's not just the same thing that I'm just repeating all the time. So I'm trying. I think we're going to try out some different games over on the page sometime soon. Again, if that's something you're interested in, rock on. If it's not, no big deal either. But hopefully you'll check out the gaming channel, I guess is the hopes. Erica is saying, haven't seen Chicken Man. Wow, fake fan. Go see it. I appreciate that, Erica. She's dropping the link for it. Go check it out. It's fun. I think personally, I think that's the best thing I've made so far. Really, really proud of that one. I haven't seen Funny Games and I own it on DVD. That's so funny. I gotta pick that one up. Apparently it's good. Best home invasion movie I've ever seen, in my opinion, is Better Watch Out. That's a crazy underrated one. That one does not get talked about enough. Very good flick. Love that one a bunch. Yo Beast Chi, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the $5. Saying, hey Jay, Ghostface told me to tell you to stop saying his name. This is obviously a joke. I don't know. I think Ghostface is coming after me now. I'm scared. I'm locking my doors. I'm not answering the phone. How crazy would it be? How crazy would it be if I got a phone call right there and then? That would have been sick. Would have been very good. Teddy, I just saw, if you're still with us, Teddy, by the way, I just saw that Jess asked about games. Let's do some games tonight. Let's absolutely do that. But Yo Beast Jay, thank you so much for the support, my friend. Are you excited for Scream 7? Let me know down in the chat. Because I fucking am. Let me tell you, I'm excited to see this one. Let me see what it's all about. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5. I'm pissing my pants. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm so scared. Albie Smith is saying, love your videos and streams, Jake, all the way from across the pond in Liverpool, England. What's up, my dude? What's up, Liverpool? Love to see it, dude. Albie Smith, thanks for hanging out with us. I love you too. Kyle Gordon is saying, Jake, do you think we will see any reference to Stab and Scream 7? You know, honest to God, I feel very confidently about this. No, I do not think so. And honest to God, why I'm feeling that is I think that we're kind of just getting away from that. We got away from it in Scream 6, and it was refreshing, but then we just did all that, you know, like constant, every single point to the past we possibly could. It's like, oh my God, relax. I think we're getting away from Stab, and we're moving into something else. I think the reason that maybe Gail is here is because she's working on one of those true crime limited series that she's been talking about. And that might be the reason for some other things in the film, but that's all I'm going to say. So I think no to Stab, yes to True Crime Limited Series, which is obviously making fun of some of those that have been popular lately. That's all I'm gonna say. Yo Beast Che, that would have been comical. Me, drop the trailer, is what you're saying. I want to see the darkness so I can take my goth girlfriend on a date. Does she like The Long Walk, perhaps? Because a movie's coming out this weekend. I don't know. There you go. I love this. This fella's just bringing the right kind of energy to this stream. I'm loving it. And you threw another super chat out there. I love it. I'm taking my goth girlfriend to see Scream 7. That is listen, thank you to everyone who threw a super chat in there. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite one so far. That makes me so happy. It just sounds like a lot of love here. Don't let her go. Don't. If she's excited to go to Scream 7 with you, don't let her go, baby. That's true love. That's true love right there. I love to see it. Thank you for the $2, my friend. I really appreciate it. I hope you and your goth girlfriend love Scream 7 to death, just like how you love each other. I'm losing it over here. Samantha Robinson saying, Jake, would you be interested in playing Animal Crossing? And you now have a gray cat and an orange cat who are fans. That's so funny. At my folks' house, I have a gray cat and an orange cat. I love them also. I love these cats as much as I love those cats. Very, very great stuff there. I would totally play some Animal Crossing. Yeah, we're going to try to get into some weird and different games over there this week. We're going to play a bunch of stuff. There's a kind of a popular game called Peak going around right now where it's like you're climbing up a mountain and you're trying not to die. And we're going to play. I want to play some of that tonight. Definitely want to try that one out. It's one of those games that it's kind of popular right now, but I'm vibing with it. Like I'm kind of like, this looks fun. I really want to get into it. We played it on stream like maybe, a month ago, but I did not know what I was doing and died like immediately. But I kind of got a little more of a grip on it. So definitely want to get into some of that if we can. So we're going to try to play just some different games, I guess is the point. Jake, hear me out. Stu is the mastermind, but he was the one that told Billy about all the drama with Sid's mom and his dad and played it out doing the peer pressure simp thing and really was the mastermind the whole time. That's going to be a lot of explaining. You're going to have to do you're going to have to rewrite history on that one. That would totally reimagine the entire original Scream, I think. Ty Lee is saying, I'm dropping a fat super chat tomorrow for VHS. I can't wait for them. 94 Beyond and 99 are probably my favorite. 85 is close. Thank you so much, Ty. I appreciate that. I'm excited that there's so much love for the watch party streams. Like I'm actually really excited to get into that tomorrow. I kind of agree. I think 94 and beyond especially have been my favorites from this new run, but I do really like 85 and 99 too. I just feel like beyond and 94 are like literally perfect. Like I wouldn't change a thing about them. 99 and 85 have a few misses, but I still love them. I still do love them. 85 and 99 have two of the best segments in the whole franchise too, which is awesome. They both have one that's just like, that's a top 10 for me. So really excited to get into that franchise a little bit in the coming weeks for the watch parties. Yo, Beast Che throwing another $2 out there saying I've watched you for about a year. That's fucking awesome. What did you, just out of curiosity, what movie, what video did you start? Do you remember what you started watching with my page? I'm always curious. I always ask people that question. Locked was hanging out with us earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but Locked was telling me a long time ago that they started watching my page when I posted a video about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie from like 2022, and I was like, that's so interesting. Usually when it's new people coming in, it's Scream stuff, but I'm always curious. Was it Scream? Was it probably Scream? You just said something about Scream, but sometimes it's Final Destination. I'm always curious. I'm always curious what people are come to the page for. But thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad. I'm really glad that you're digging it, man. It was a Terrifier 3 video. Okay, rock on. So it was probably some of my Terrifier 3 stuff from last fall. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I'm glad. I hope you're excited for Terrifier 4 and Scream 7 on the horizon, man. We'll be talking all about it within the coming years or so. Davey Deathray also hanging out with us. What's up, my friend? How are you? Welcome in. Davey, I love your voice so much. It calms me. It brings me to a subtle vibe. I'm so crazy all day drinking coffee and editing videos lightning fast. And then I listen to Davey Deathray to calm myself down at night. And then I'm ready to sleep. I'm ready to dream about frolicking through a field with Ghostface and Art the Clown, hand in hand. That's what I think about when I listen to Davey Deathray's voice. God, I love that man. What is up, Davey? Welcome in. Me personally, I want to mention of Danny Johnson from Dead by Daylight, the key hookup, the Ghostface role. I mean, yes, it was technically implied that it's from like a newer multiverse, but still, it would be kind of cool. That was what was really fun about Red Right Hand. It was kind of like I was trying to think of like what do we do for our Ghostface killers? And I just feel like Danny Johnson was one of those really cool things that I was like, let's throw that a little bit of lore in there. You know what I mean? Let's throw a little bit of that into this movie if we can, and incorporate that into. There was really two big ideas with Red Right Hand. I wanted to like do a Scream movie from the Ghostface's perspective, and I wanted to somehow incorporate Danny Johnson into from Dead by Daylight into the actual Scream movie universe. Find a way to do that, and that was a really fun way to do it. I felt it was a fun time. It was cool. So I was vibing with that, and I would love. I don't know, maybe. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's fun. What else is going on? Marley Kai is saying, first Jake video I watched was a Terrifier 3 video, something about if Art would marry his new sidekick or something. I must have been running out of ideas that week. That's so funny. Picky Piggy, you're so sweet. I love your voice, Jake, and I love your channel. I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that a ton. I think I started watching with a Pet Cemetery video. A Pet Cemetery video? Damn. Must have been a long time ago. I remember I did a video. It was like, what was it? It was ranking a bunch of movies from one of the years, and I was just shitting on the new Pet Cemetery movie. I was not happy with that. Was that when was that? Was that 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Pet Cemetery Bloodlines or whatever. Is that what it was? Something like that. Man, that movie was bad. I was real like. I was punching holes in walls. That's what that one made me feel. Terrifier 4 should be just as gory as Terrifier 3, equally focusing on Art and Sienna navigating hell together, possibly teaming up for a mission. Would Art ever team up with Sienna, do you think? Could he find kindness in his heart? He's not a very kind guy. He doesn't kill everybody he comes across, though. That is something I've noticed about Art, especially after rewatching Terrifier 2 and 3 so many times. Like he really just wants to, like, it's not even killing. I feel like his mission, like if he has like a goal in mind, it's not even killing people. It's just, what's the craziest shit that I can do in this moment right here? And oftentimes the answer is murder, but sometimes it's, you know, taking someone's severed head, putting candy in it, and, you know, giving it to children. That's so fucked up. I mean, that's so messed up. Or, you know, the mall scene, for instance, in the last movie. So I just feel like he's one of those guys that whatever the funniest thing he can do in the moment is, that's kind of his vibe. Ty is saying, it's been so long I don't even remember what video turned me onto your channel. It could have been a Lethal Collective stream. That's funny. That would be awesome if it was a Lethal Collective stream. I love that. Davey's been a member for 10 months. I greatly appreciate your support, my friend. Saying, likewise, my guy. Love your voice and what you do. We got to collab this spooky season, right? Yes. Or is that too much hotness for the folks to handle? It might be. You know, when our voices combine, it might just turn into a sexy tornado that tears down the entire planet. But I think we have to do it, Davey. I think we got to make that voice NATO happen at some point. That would be awesome. But let me know. We'll get on a stream or something. We'll make something happen here. What's really cool is me and the Night Watch Zone are doing a couple of streams coming up. I'm really excited. We just planned out a bunch of fun stuff, so I'm really excited. Really excited to get into that. And you'll see the first one of those on Thursday. But Davey and I got to get on a stream sometime soon too. I miss doing collabs. It's been too long. I like when I have other people up here to talk with. Teddy is saying, Madison forced me to find you. That's how I found you. Yeah, this is true. Madison forced me into your life, Teddy. But what's wrong with that? Davey's saying we owe it to ourselves and the community. Fuck. Damn, dude. I see. Yeah, it's just when I talk with you, Davey, the one problem is I want to nuzzle myself into your arms. I don't even want to talk horror. I just want. No, I'm just kidding. No, we'll chat soon, man. We'll make it happen. I'll hit you up here. We'll get something going. Jake and Erica, don't kill me, but I'm actually listening to Christmas specials in the background. What is this? Amateur hour? What's going on? Not even Halloween specials. It's Christmas specials. Do you know what month it is, Samantha? God, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just joking around. But don't be putting on no Christmas music now, okay? That ain't even okay in November. Just for the record. Picky Piggy is so hyped for VHS Halloween. Me fucking too, dude. I cannot wait for I'm dying. I'm foaming at the mouth for VHS Halloween. I think what's so exciting about the VHS franchise is it's like they'll drop a movie in October. For this has been the last 4 years has been this to me. They'll drop a movie in October. It'll have some crazy record-breaking like streaming debut, and it's awesome. And then like the next couple of days, they're like, oh yeah, VHS, the next one's coming out next year. And then we're in the dark for like 9 months. We have no idea what's happening with the franchise. And then they'll just out of nowhere be like, bam, VHS this coming out in October. Here's the directors. Here's the trailer. Here's the second trailer. Movie's happening. It's always so quick, and I love it. It's always so exciting because we won't be talking about VHS at all for like 9 months, and then it all hits and it's fast and it's crazy and it's like, here's all these crazy theories we got to come up with, and then it's the movie's here. So VHS is one of my favorite ones to cover because it's only really like 3 months out of the year we're talking about it, but those 3 months, always my favorite. I always love that. So VHS Halloween, Joe Bet Gret is excited for it too. I cannot wait. That is always one of my favorite franchises to cover on this page, without a doubt. Captain Toki is saying tuned in for the live. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with us. What's up? What's up, Captain? Thanks for being here. Celebrating Christmas before Halloween is evil. Oh, it's brutal. What would you say is the darkest Scream movie in terms of emotionally and kills? Definitely Scream 4. Like, dude, Scream 4 breaks my fucking heart every time I see it, and that's why I love it. Oh, so I definitely I don't know. That's the most vicious one. I think I like Scream 1 also has got, I think Scream 1 has the scariest moments, honestly, of the whole franchise. I think that opening scene and Billy and Stu in the kitchen, like that just gets to me a little bit. That's really upsetting. I love that. But Scream 4, I think, has just the most upsetting reveal. It's just the most like, it's a betrayal is what it is. It's such a like, dude, you were supposed to carry the franchise forward and you're a ghost face. Like, damn, Jill. Brutal, dude. I do love that. Are you looking for LUFC? What is up, my friend? Are you looking forward to the new Anaconda film that comes out from Jack Black and Paul Rudd? I'm glad we're getting a new Anaconda. That's interesting to me, but I feel like this is going to be like the Minecraft movie 2.0, but with Anaconda, which is strange. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I am glad we're getting a new Anaconda flick. It's like, that's cool. That's a cool franchise to bring back. That was I like that first one. That one's fun. That's a whole ass franchise too. If you don't know, there's like 7 fucking Anaconda movies, and it's just like, what? How are there that many? There's like a crossover with Lake Placid too. Like there's like Anaconda goes to Lake Placid. It's like, what? If I'm not mistaken, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself, is in that movie, which is nuts. So it only gets crazier. It only gets crazier when you learn more about it, for sure. Scream 4 is hype. Jake paid respects to Emma Roberts, without a doubt. One of my favorite characters in the whole franchise. Ooh, okay. I like this comment. I did think that Bring Her Back is better than Weapons. Both are very good, but do you think Black Phone 2 can beat them both? Bring Her Back was fun. You know, Bring Her Back, it's a movie that I really want to revisit, because it's not that I didn't like it. It's that I just felt like it was too similar to Talk to Me. And I feel like when I was watching it the first time, I couldn't help but compare it the first time I saw it, because I'm just like, it's from the Filippo brothers, you know, Michael and Danny, Raka Raka. And here they are making another movie about trauma and grief. But from what I've heard, they had a real life death in their lives. And that's kind of what this one is based on, where like Talk to Me was a little more like, we're just going to make a grief centric movie with this, you know, kind of unique idea. So it definitely feels like it's a different movie in the sense that it's a little more personal. It is a little more somber than something like Talk to Me. That's more like, you know, kids having fun with like, I feel like what Talk to Me is essentially is, here's kids finding a new way that they can get high, essentially, and finding the dangers of that. I mean, just replace possession with drug use in that movie, and that's totally what it is. It's one big play on that, and I think that's awesome. I think Talk to Me is very unique, where there's a lot of grief-centric horror movies out here that feel repetitive and just kind of copycats of each other. But then Bring Her Back, it is a little more of just exactly that, but it is still very unique in the sense that it has these really terrifying moments. It's this slow burn, deep dive into fucking hell, and I think it truly has some of the most disturbing moments in a horror film all year. So Captain Toki, don't get me wrong, I ain't shitting on Bring Her Back by any means, but I think the first time I watched it, I just found myself constantly thinking, man, these are the same themes as Talk to Me. I wish these guys would get into something fresh, but it is like, the more I think about that film, the more I like it, because it really is something different than Talk to Me, even if it is playing on the same ideas. You know what I mean? But I did kind of, I guess what I wanted from them, which isn't really fair. It's not really fair to judge that product based on what came before it. It might not even be in the same universe, maybe. But I want to watch it again with just open-mindedness, just analyzing it as the film itself and no other comparisons, because I want to revisit it, I guess, is my point. It didn't have that fun of Talk to Me, which I missed, but I appreciated that it was like a darker, more sophisticated tale from these guys. That shows versatility. That tells me that these guys can kind of do anything and make it good, because it's not a bad movie. I don't have any problems with it. Bring Her Back really did blow me away. It was a different thing from them. It wasn't what I was expecting, in a good way though. So I gotta revisit that one. Bring Her Back, definitely one of the most interesting releases of the year, like without a doubt. Could Black Phone 2 beat them out? I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm gonna like Black Phone 2. I don't think it's gonna beat out Weapons. Nothing's gonna beat that. I just don't think so. That fucking melted my face, man. Jake, did you think Black Phone 2 can set the bar for this year and be in the leagues of Weapons? No. No. I think Black Phone 2 is going to be a fun slasher. I don't think it's going to be Weapons or Sinners good. If it is, though, that would be awesome. You know, that'd make me very happy. Nothing would make me happier than to see that movie just be fucking, you know, melt your face great. I think it's going to be good. I don't see it being, you know, I don't see it being that good, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel like that's a great note to end this stream on, ladies and gentlemen. So again, if you don't know, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going live. We're watching VHS 94. Oh boy, am I excited to rewatch this one. This might be my favorite VHS. So stop on by tomorrow. It's going to be a very good time. I'm excited to bring back the watch parties. We're watching all 4 of the Shudder VHS movies across the next couple of weeks. So VHS 94 this Wednesday, 99 the week after that, 85 and beyond, leading into VHS Halloween. So definitely stop on by for that stream. And also on Thursday, me and the Night Watch Zone are talking about some upcoming horror releases. So stop on by for that as well. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I will see you in tomorrow's live stream. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.